It's Lisa Sabala here, and you are listening or watching the Easy Breezy Boss Life. So today we are going to dig into a mindset tweak that could seriously transform the way you handle your day-to-day operations. So we are talking about who your virtual assistant or team really works for. Hint, it's not you. By the end of this video podcast episode, I'm hoping you'll change the way you handle your team. And I've seen this one change the game for so many business owners that we work with, and I think it'll do the same for you too. Now, let me paint you a picture. So maybe you're an online coach, or a small business owner, or you're an entrepreneur juggling 1,000 tasks every day. Then you finally decided to hire a virtual assistant, a VA, who can help you manage the chaos. And you're thrilled to have found someone amazing. They're skilled, they're proactive, and they seem to have an endless well of talent. So you think to yourself, I got a winner here. But then your doubts, they start to creep in. You wonder if this gem of a VA might slip through your fingers. You might even try to bond with them, ask them about their weekend or what they did for fun. But instead of building a connection, it feels awkward. But they're polite, but they seem distant. And you're left scratching your head thinking, look, this person works for me. So what did I do wrong? Okay, newsflash, your VA does not work for you. Guess who they really work for? So the answer to this is no, they don't really work for you. They work for the people they love. They work for their dreams. They work for them. They work for themselves, not you. Even if you are the CEO, even if you are the one paying their salary, they don't work for you. So let me explain. I had a friend in a similar situation. We met through another online coach who had a mastermind, and we found ourselves part of that group. We hit it off pretty fast, and we became virtual friends even after the mastermind ended. So she's an online coach in Australia who had just hired a VA from the Philippines. So naturally, she came to me for advice since I'm from the Philippines myself. She was really thrilled with her new hire, saying things like, she is too good at her job and she speaks flawless English and she can do anything I ask. And if she doesn't know, she's really resourceful enough to figure it out. Now, you might think that she found the perfect virtual assistant, right? Even when the situation seemed great, my friend was still worried. Now, what could she possibly be worried about? Well, she told me that she's scared her VA might quit on her. It's a valid fear, I know. So when I asked why she's worried if the VA is going to quit on her, so she tried to bond with her virtual assistant, asking her, hey, did you go someplace last Friday night? Or what did you do over the weekend? So when she asked that question, her VA's response was, well, it was awkward. You know when you ask a person a question and they're not really wanting to answer your question, but they just feel like it's better to answer it than deal with the weird silence? It was something like that. So my friend thought she might have offended her or made her virtual assistant comfortable. So I asked her, do you really care what she did last Friday? Do you really care what she did during her personal time? Or was that just small talk? So my friend admitted that it was just small talk for her. In fact, she didn't care if her VA was out playing laser tag or flying a hot air balloon. She was just trying to be friendly. So there it is. That's the aha moment right there. You see, a lot of clients attempt to bond with their team members or their VAs, but sometimes it is carried out in a way that lacks sincerity. That's where the problem lies. That small talk, it didn't come across as genuine. Instead of bonding, it felt like an intrusion on the personal life of the virtual assistant. So here's my hint. Read the room. If your relationship with your new VA hasn't progressed to when you two are, chummy with each other yet, then maybe stick to just the work conversation. You will feel later on when it will be the right time to ask them what they did on their personal time. So just trust your gut. Don't make it feel forced because they will know. So let's circle back. Why did her virtual assistant feel like it was an intrusion when she got asked by my friend about her weekend? Here's my theory. When you ask your VA about their weekend and it's phrased in a way of like, what did you do specifically on Friday or Saturday, they might think that you're checking if they were free to do more work, if they had availability to put in more hours. And let's not forget, this VA is from the Philippines. That's a place where many people work hard to support their families. Others work part-time jobs, 2, 3 jobs, so they can care for their elderly parents or if they want to pursue further education on the side. So when my friend asked, what did you do last Friday night? As harmless as it might seem, it could easily be rephrased in your VA's head as, can you also work on Friday night? Now, what should you do instead if you want to really bond with your VA? How do you make sure your amazing VA doesn't quit on you? Should you just stay away from questions asking about their weekend? No, not really. You don't have to do that. You can still ask them casual questions like this, but only ask it if you are genuinely interested in what they did for fun while they're off duty. Besides, casual questions or small talk like this can't really ensure that your amazing VA doesn't quit on you. So what does? What does it take for your golden gem virtual assistant or team member to stick with you as you grow your business? Well, first of all, you need to understand this. You cannot make them stay. There is no 100% guarantee or one magic spell or hack that will make your VA stay for long term. Because like I said, your VA doesn't work for you. They work for someone else. Their true boss might be their children, their family, or their own dreams and aspirations, like maybe finishing a college degree or paying off their debts or starting their own business someday. Your job as the client, the leader, the CEO who hired your VA is not to try and force a bond over small talk. Your job is to understand what drives them, what their goals are. So be genuinely interested in what drives your VA. Find out what's motivating them and then reflect on how you, as their client, boss, mentor, or leader, can help them achieve it. What can you do to support them in reaching those goals? Once you've figured this out, you have essentially discovered a key to keeping a good team member stay long with you. All your virtual assistant or your team members really want is security with their job so they can fulfill their own goals and dreams. Now begs the question, how do you keep your VA happy and engaged? How do you ensure they're as invested in your success as you are in theirs? I'll drop a few tips that might help. So number one is to ask about their why. Don't just focus on what they did last weekend. None of the small talk. Instead, ask them what's important to them. Find out why they're working as a VA in the first place. What are their short-term and long-term goals? Are they saving up for their kids' education? Are they supporting their elderly parents? Understanding their why will give you insights into how you can support them. Because as much as you want to drill it into them, what your goals are for your business, it's never going to stick. They won't work to make your dreams come true. No, they're going to work to make their dreams come true, to ensure that they and the people they love have food on the table, that their kids can go to school, to pay their rent, and make their car payments month after month. So there you have it. That's number one. Find out what your VA's why is, and also find out how you can support them. So here's number two. Offer stability. If you want your VA to stick around, offer them something they will value, which is stability or long-term income potential from being part of your business. Let them know that as long as they do good work, that they're diligent, they're resourceful, you can also provide steady employment and reliable pay. This assurance can go a long way in building trust and loyalty. Besides, when you hire a new team member, it's good motivation for you as the business owner too. And this will motivate you to stay the course, to not give up on growing your business because your team is counting on you. And by extension, their families, their dreams, their rent, and other monthly bills are counting on your business to thrive. Now, I know it's a bit of pressure on us as the client and business owners, right? But think of it this way. We should be grateful. We should be so thankful that we are blessed to have a business, and that business is a blessing to your team by extension, because by having a business, you have the capacity to hire someone and give someone a livelihood. Therefore, the more revenue you collectively make with your team helping you to serve your customers and clients, the better. I guess we can safely say that the stability of any business is determined by how well the CEO or founder/owner can communicate to their team about how important they are to the business operations. And by fulfilling their respective roles, the business also fulfills its revenue goals. All right, let's go to tip number 3. Collaborate, do not dictate. Let me repeat that. Collaborate, don't dictate. Now, this is so important. Collaborate, no commands, just direction. No dictators, just leaders who trust and motivate the team. Remember, your VA is not just an employee. They can be a partner in your business. So treat them as such. Collaborate with them, and if possible, involve them in some of the decision-making processes and listen to their ideas too. When they feel like they're contributing to the success of the business, they'll be more invested in sticking around. In fact, if you can effectively train your VA to help you decide on different matters, they will also likely voluntarily put out fires in your behalf, especially when you're not around. So let me unpack this further. Say you're a dictator type of leader, and you decide everything and give out all the orders. No collaboration, just you and your decisions all the time and in every given situation. What happens when you want to go on vacation? What happens if, God forbid, you get sick and have to take a few days off? What happens if you have a family emergency and can't be there to dictate what your team members should do? Your business essentially stops when you're not around. And that's not really a healthy way of running your business, or any business for that matter. So why not collaborate with your team so they'll also recognize and get familiar with your thought process? The more you involve your team members, they'll also catch up on how you would handle certain situations. The more often this happens, the less they'll need you to dictate what needs to be done all the time. Bonus if your VA is proactive and takes initiative, that they will probably spot problems before they take place. Then at the end of the day, you'll just be surprised to receive an FYI that maybe an incident happened, but they already took care of it. Wouldn't that be something? To be told that a problem emerged, but it's already resolved. I bet you can never get to this point if you dictated every move your team or virtual assistant makes. So I hope this encourages you to collaborate more with your VA. All right, that is pretty much it. These are the 3 tips to get you started. 1, ask about your VA's why, find out what motivates them. 2, offer stability so they'll feel secure that they will have a steady income if they stick with you. And 3, don't dictate, collaborate. Okay. Summing up, your VA doesn't just work for you. They work with you. And they're working for their own goals, their own dreams, and their own loved ones. If you can understand that, if you can support them in achieving those goals while they help you achieve yours, you'll build a partnership that's strong, loyal, and mutually beneficial. So the next time you sit down to chat with your VA, skip the small talk about weekends. Instead, get to know what really drives them. You might just find that in supporting their dreams, you'll achieve your own dreams faster than you ever imagined. If you love this episode, hit subscribe and drop a comment. I would love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for hanging out with me on the Easy Breezy Boss Life. Until next time.